Michael B. Jordan reveals why Marjorie Harvey wants him as her son-in-law. Have you ever looked at a Hollywood relationship and thought, man, that looks completely fake, only to realize the reality behind closed doors is 10 times crazier, darker, and more calculated than any PR firm could ever spin? Well, pull up a chair and grab your popcorn because Michael B. Jordan just blew the lid off the absolute biggest illusion in modern celebrity culture. For years, we were fed the fairy tale narrative that Michael and Lori Harvey were just two young, gorgeous, successful stars who fell in love and simply grew apart. But what if I told you that entire romance was actually a high-stakes, corporate-style chess move orchestrated from the shadows? That's right, Michael has finally broken his silence, dropping absolute bombshells about why Marjorie Harvey was so desperately, dangerously obsessed with making him her permanent son-in-law. We're talking about a terrifying web of legal traps, wild prenuptial demands, and a multi-million-dollar empire survival plan that almost consumed one of Hollywood's biggest A-listers whole. Was Michael actually falling in love? Or was he being systematically groomed to become the ultimate financial trophy and brand rehabilitation tool for a matriarch with a past wilder than a mob movie? The receipts are spilling out, the hidden motives are being exposed, and by the time we're done today, you will never look at the Harvey family the same way again. How did Michael barely escape this trap? And what was Marjorie really planning behind those designer sunglasses? Let's dive in. To understand the sheer magnitude of the trap Michael B. Jordan almost walked into, you first have to understand who is really pulling the strings behind the Harvey curtain, because it is certainly not the guy hosting family game shows on daytime television. The world wants you to believe that Steve Harvey is the supreme ruler of that media empire. But anyone who has actually paid attention to Hollywood's underground political hierarchy knows the absolute truth. Marjorie Harvey is the undisputed, unbothered, and utterly ruthless architect of that entire family's public existence, and her appetite for power makes high-stakes corporate raiders look like absolute amateurs. For over a decade, Marjorie has been operating in the upper echelons of celebrity culture, with a level of calculated precision that would make a chess grandmaster sweat bullets. She did not just luck into her current lifestyle. She engineered it, piece by piece, scandal by scandal, and husband by husband. Look at the track record, people, because history does not lie, even when celebrity publicists spend millions trying to scrub the internet clean. Before she was sitting front row at Paris Fashion Week draped in hundreds of thousands of dollars in exotic furs and diamonds, Marjorie was navigating circles so dangerous that federal agencies had permanent wiretaps assigned to her inner circle. We are talking about serious, heavy-hitting figures in the underground economy, men who ended up facing decades in federal penitentiaries while Marjorie somehow miraculously floated above the wreckage like a feather in the wind. She has a master's degree in survival, a doctorate in brand acquisition, and an absolute black belt in turning powerful men into stepping stones for her ultimate vision. And what was that vision? Simple. She wanted to build a bulletproof, multi-generational dynasty where her name meant absolute royalty, and her children were positioned as untouchable fashion icons and media moguls. But to keep a dynasty like that alive, you need constant fuel, you need top-tier relevance, and most importantly, you need high-value targets to attach to the family name. Enter her prized possession, her favorite daughter, Lori Harvey. Marjorie did not just raise Lori. She literally sculpted her into the ultimate Hollywood magnet. Every outfit, every public appearance, every carefully timed walk through the airport past waiting paparazzi was calculated to perfection under Marjorie's watchful eye. For years, the strategy was simple. Attach Lori to the biggest, most chaotic, and most headline-generating men in urban entertainment. We saw her linked to music moguls, toxic hitmakers, and industry playboys, from Future to Diddy, and even Diddy's own son. It was an endless carousel of viral moments, designer handbags, and high-profile boat trips in the south of France. But while those relationships kept Lori's name bouncing across every blog and shade page on the planet, they came with a massive, dangerous downside. The public perception was spiraling out of control. The internet was starting to view Lori not as a classy, high-fashion influencer, but as a perpetual headline machine caught in the center of toxic industry drama. The brand was getting messy, the elite luxury fashion houses were getting hesitant, and the mainstream Hollywood crossover that Marjorie desperately craved for her daughter was suddenly stalling out. The Harvey name needed a total, unquestionable top-to-bottom image rehabilitation, and it needed it fast. They could not just throw Lori into another relationship with a rapper who would post petty tweets 3 weeks later. They needed someone pristine. They needed someone who commanded respect across both the culture and the corporate boardrooms of big-budget studio cinema. They needed an absolute titan, a man with zero public blemishes, a clean-cut A-lister whose very presence signaled prestige, class, and absolute power. And right at that exact moment, like clockwork, Michael B. Jordan walked straight into the crosshairs. When Michael B. Jordan stepped into Lori's life around late 2020, to the average fan, it looked like a match made in Hollywood heaven. He was the reigning sexiest man alive, the star and director of massive multi-hundred-million-dollar movie franchises, and a beloved self-made visionary who had built his own powerhouse production company from the ground up. He was notoriously private, wildly respected, and practically untouchable in the eyes of major film studios. For Michael, attaching himself to Lori seemed like a fun, high-profile romance that showed off his sleek, stylish personal life. But for Marjorie Harvey? Oh man, Michael wasn't a boyfriend. He was a gold mine. He was the golden ticket that could instantly legitimize the entire Harvey operation and elevate them into the realm of Hollywood royalty. With Michael on Lori's arm, suddenly the Harveys were not just daytime television stars or reality-adjacent influencers. They were attending exclusive, ultra-elite industry galas, sitting beside studio executives, and gaining direct access to power structures that Steve Harvey's game show money could never buy. Marjorie saw the ultimate play. If she could lock Michael B. Jordan into the family permanently, if she could turn him into her son-in-law, she would not just be securing Lori's future, she would be securing a permanent seat at the top table of global entertainment. She wanted his star power, his pristine reputation, and most importantly, his independent production empire, Outlier Society, woven directly into the Harvey family umbrella. It was a hostile takeover disguised as a fairy tale romance, and for the first few months, the charm offensive worked like an absolute charm. Michael was brought into the fold, showered with praise, and publicly embraced by Steve Harvey on every talk show that would have him. Steve was out here giving interviews talking about how much he loved Michael, how he tried to hate him but couldn't find a single thing wrong with him, and how Michael's family was top tier. But behind that warm, welcoming family facade, an invisible vice was slowly, methodically tightening around Michael's neck. The invitations to casual family dinners slowly turned into intense conversations about brand alignment, joint business ventures, and long-term legal integration. Marjorie wasn't just acting like a supportive mother. She was acting like a CEO negotiating the merger of two massive corporations. She was casually testing his boundaries, seeing how much control he would yield, and observing whether this Hollywood superstar was the type of man who would fall in line or the type who would stand his ground. What Marjorie failed to realize, however, was that Michael B. Jordan did not build his career by being naive or easily led. He was a man who had navigated the shark-infested waters of the film industry since he was a kid, surviving the brutal politics of major studios without letting anyone control his vision. He knew the difference between genuine love and a calculated business move, and it didn't take long for the red flags to start popping up everywhere he looked. Deep down, Marjorie underestimated the very thing that made Michael so attractive in the first place: his fiercely guarded independence. She assumed that the glamour, the lavish vacation trips, and the hypnotic allure of her daughter's high-profile aesthetic would keep him blinded long enough for the net to close completely around him. But as the relationship crossed the one-year mark and talk of marriage began whispering through the industry grapevine, the subtle pressure shifted into outright demands, setting off an explosive series of events behind closed doors that nobody saw coming. According to anonymous industry sources, entertainment insiders, and leaked reports that have recently begun circulating among Hollywood executives, the pressure campaign reached its absolute peak right around the time rumors of an impending, multi-million-dollar proposal began to leak to the press. Behind the scenes, the atmosphere inside the Harvey estate shifted from a warm family embrace into what one insider described as an intense corporate negotiation room. Marjorie Harvey was not interested in a traditional low-key Hollywood romance. She was orchestrating a full-scale integration of two major celebrity brands. The demands began small, with subtle pushes for Michael to feature Lori in his upcoming film projects, to share production credits, and to utilize his high-level studio connections to secure massive luxury brand deals for the family empire. But as the relationship deepened, the stakes grew astronomically higher. Insiders claim that Marjorie presented Michael's legal team with a series of aggressive prenuptial draft proposals and business alignment frameworks that left his representatives completely stunned.